An inner-city kid growing up in Brooklyn these days is surrounded by influences, not all of them good. From theft and violence to drugs and gangs, it can be hard to follow the right path. In many ways, it's always been the same. Distractions are a part of anyone's life, especially the life of a young adult. What's it like to grow up in Brooklyn these days? How are kids dealing with some of these distractions? Is youth really wasted on the young? Woodley Sainrose, who attends Bishop Ford High School in Brooklyn, wastes no time. He excels, both in the classroom as an honor student and on the field as a student athlete. Faith is his foundation. Woodley is an active Catholic.
Is persuasion the cohesive unit?
Our adventure this year will be the excitement and hard work rolled up into one.
Thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to be a candidate and also to be able to speak before you today.
Vote for Isabel and Woodley, the I Would Make a Difference candidates. Thank you.
I'm just proud to say that I come from a family with a good religious background, and our faith keeps us together. And without that, I would think we would even be together, because there's a lot of families out there in the world that I know of, they actually don't talk to each other, or like they stay far from each other. But since my family has a grounded religion, we actually stay close and we pray together. And we know when you pray together, you stay together. My biggest role models are actually, of course, my parents, because they raised me, my uncle who's the priest, and my coaches. My parents are my biggest role models because they raised me to become the young man that I am right now, and they show me what's right from wrong. And my mom used to always tell me, you may not realize what we're telling you now, but when you get older, you'll realize it. And I'm actually realizing all this stuff now. And every time I see it, I go back home, I'm like, Mom, you were right. You were right that time that you told me, don't do this or don't jump over that, because now I understand it. And my father, he doesn't say much to me, but when he talks to me, he knows what he's saying and I understand it. So even though he doesn't say a lot to me, I understand where he comes from. And he always tells me, always keep your faith. And remember, don't ever forget God. My uncle, he's been one of my role models since I was younger. Even while he was at the seminary becoming a priest, I used to always look up to him. And I used to always say to myself, I think I want to become a priest one day. And I used to say, yeah, I want to become a priest. Yeah, it's fun. I like doing this. I like altar serving. Then when I got older and I understood what you have to do, I'm like, I don't think I'm qualified. I don't know. I want a wife and kids. I want to start a family. But as you could say, being a priest or being a nun is not for everybody, but then again, it is for some people. And everybody has their calling. You never know, I could say this now, but then again, I could have a calling any time. I could be sleeping or even in a dream. My coaches, they're one of my role models too, because without them, I wouldn't really know where I'd be right now. Because them enforcing sports on me really, you could say, saved my life and disciplined me a lot. Because I could have been out in the street doing whatever, God knows what, and I probably could have been either hurt or I could have been 6 feet on the ground. My football coach, Jim Esposito, he actually told me that you have to work hard as a freshman. Because when I first started playing football, I was yay high, little skinny kid.
He always worked very hard. He was a very undersized kid. He must have been 100 pounds soaking wet as a freshman. We
go to a few practices, but I never played. So my freshman year coming to high school, he was like, you have to work. And as my freshman year went along, I actually improved. I was getting bigger and stronger. I was 5'2", and by the end of my freshman year, I was probably benching 100 pounds, and I was benching 145 out of nowhere.
So it took him time a little bit to develop and get used to getting hit. And that's something you have to get used to. It's like a boxer. that throws a lot of punches and gets hit a lot. You have to get used to it. And over the years, he really got used to it, and he progressed as a football player as good as anybody did that I've coached. And you know, he reached his potential.
I didn't understand football, and he taught me how to play football. And I went on my own. I went home and I was studying films, and some of the teammates would show me. And I didn't really play a lot because of my height, and I didn't really know what was going on. So I kind of got frustrated, and I was wondering, God, like, why me? They got all those other kids, they have talent, and I don't. Well, I knew like I had talent, but it just wasn't there yet. He just told me like, you have to work hard. You may not play now, but in the future you will play. You'll become an animal, you'll become a beast, you will play. And I took his advice, and I worked hard during the off season, coming to my sophomore year, worked hard. Even though it didn't go as I planned, I still worked hard. And he told me, you're doing good, but you're struggling a bit, but you should always do something. And that's when I was introduced to track.
Him just wanted to run, he just kept on coming, I want to run faster, I want to run faster, I want to run faster.
My coach showed me what I had to do to get stronger, and my track workouts actually helped me out for football. So the conditioning I did for track and running helped me for football. So when I came back my junior year, I was prepared. I was one of the fastest kids on the team, and I could actually last the workouts. So when we run up the stairs, I'd be like, yeah, this is fun, and everybody would be dying, asking somebody to give them water, and I'm just looking at them like, we didn't do nothing yet. And they would say, Woodley, how do you do this? I was like, I run track. Me being better as an athlete on the field, my coaches saw it and like, yo, you're improving, you're fast. And he said, like the last practice, I'll never forget this, he was like, if we had an award for like the most improved player this year, you would get it. You're really gonna be a star next year. And some of the athletes were like, yeah, we're running track now. And I actually got a few of them to run track. And my coaches were like very happy because the two players I brought were actually the starting running back and the backup to him. And they got faster, and basically every time they touched the ball, either they get yards or they would score. So it benefited them a lot. And now the other kids on my team are saying, yeah, we want to run track now because every time he touches the ball, he scores. I want to be just like him. So now it wasn't just like an individual effort, it was like a team effort. So since they see me run and now they see them run, now everybody wants to run now. Our first race was a 4x2, and we actually ran in a relay. And in the beginning, we came in, like we were in first, second. Then when I got the stick, everybody came off the stagger in front of me, and I was so shocked. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And once I got the baton, I started running, and I'm like, wait, I'm passing everybody. And like, I got to the front, and I started passing everybody. I'm like, oh, I'm winning. And just kept on going and going and going. And I almost got to the finish line, and then it kind of died out. I was like, wow, I'm not dying. There's someone creeping up behind me. I'm like, no. And I gave it to my friend Aaron, and he ran, and we took control of the race, and we got to 5th place when he gave it to the ankle leg. And the ankle leg, he got really mad. So he went from like 5th, 6th place to 1st place. And as soon as we got to the finish line, he dropped the baton and he tripped and we lost. But at the end of the race, our coach, he didn't put us down. He said, it's your first race, don't get mad, you guys are excellent. And ever since then, I started improving. My times went down, and I actually became a good sprinter. We have good chemistry. Like we could relate to each other. You know, we all share like the same interests, and we have each other's back. So you know, if one person messes up, the other person will make up for it. In the next race, we know that we can't mess up, and we do what we have to do.
We're close, very close. I try to keep them like a family.
I had a lot of ups and a lot of downs this indoor track season. One of my up moments this year was, I could say, PRing in the 200 in my 4x2 relay, where we actually ran one of the fastest times, which was 1:33. My down moment this season was running, running the 400. I ran, but like I didn't run to my full potential, and like I broke down towards the end of the race. But I still ran it and ran to the best of my abilities, even though it wasn't that good. When my junior season came around, I got a few more of the football players to come run track with me, and they saw the change, and they're like, yeah, I like this. Even though they were faster than me, like in certain distances, like we both trained together, so we push each other, and it actually helped us. So we actually, like, we had the fastest SMR in the Catholic school for Brooklyn Queens. He ran a 3:35. It's actually a sprint medley relay. So I was in one of the 200 legs, and we ran, and we actually had a fast time. We went to the Marine Corps meet, and we came in 4th, and that time was good, because at the time, nobody in the league was running that time, so it was very good, and we kept on working and working and working, and we went to New Balance games, and that's a very, very, very big meet, and we ran 3:35, so we shaded off a lot of seconds. From 3:41 to 3:35, that's a lot. And it's very good because the 3 seniors who ran at the time, I was the only junior on the team, they were going to college, so it looked good for them and it looked good for me. Sports has given me a lot, to be honest. I've learned a lot, and I've met a lot of people that I probably wouldn't have never met. Sports have helped me stay focused in school, you know. It gave me a drive.
Thank your classmates who have put themselves out front and center.
I decided to be in the election because of Isabel. She was like, I need a partner, and me and her, we've been cool since freshman year, and she didn't have nobody, and I was like, I wanted to run, but I'm like, I don't want to be president. I'm like, I don't have time for it. Then when she asked me, I was like, you know what, I'll do it just for her. Then I was like, no, I think it'll be pretty good and fun, and I did it. We worked hard, did a lot of cooking and baking, to basically, get the kids to come and vote, and, we told them what we would do, and everything worked. We were never scared. We knew that, like, we would have a high chance of winning, but we also knew that even if we win or not, we know that our voices will still be heard, and all of this is just like a fun experience, like a good way to end our last year as seniors. Being in student government shows me how to work with people in life for future reference. So if I have a job, I know how to talk to my boss or represent myself, because I understand what President Obama goes through, because like once you become president or vice president, you're always being watched. So, you always have to be on your A game, and you have to understand that, you're like, not a role model, but like you're basically a figure to people. So people are always watching you, like, you have to become like a leader. I know as a kid, it's not that big to be a high school like vice president, but you still have to set the example.
He's a good leader.
He is a kid who has tremendous discipline, so I could see him giving a little support to another kid.
During kickoff, we actually got into a little fight. Well, he's a sophomore, and he ran down the field, and in football, it's a very emotional sport, because once you get hit, you kind of get heated up, and he's not a troublemaker, but like in football, he gets kind of rough. So his helmet came off, and he got mad at the other opponent, and he started fighting. So once I seen that, I pulled him off and literally dragged him to our sideline by myself with no one's help.
I don't remember, it's probably on the sidelines, and what I will say is I believe he probably did it, and the boy probably listened to him.
And I told him, listen, if you get kicked out, you won't play until not the next game you have next year, but the game after that. So that's very bad, so it's gonna be a bad look. And what if they need you in the game? How would you feel if you can't play and your team needs you and you lose? And you know that if I played I could have helped the team won, but I didn't play. You have to understand that you can't always win your fights, and you have to pick and choose the fights that you take on in life, because no matter what, you win some, you lose some. You have to be a bigger person.
Woodley is one of the reasons why I coach. He's not a star player. He's just an undersized kid who came out for the team, who got better every year through hard work and through dedication. And he's the type of kid that makes the football team go. Kids who don't get to play and be the stars still come out and work as hard as the biggest star on the team. That makes your team successful.
But to tell you the truth, after my sophomore season, I came into my junior season saying, this is my final year playing football, I want to run track. So after my junior season was over, told him I don't think I'm playing football no more.
Well, Woodley played his freshman, sophomore, and junior year. Then after his junior year, came to me and said, Coach, I don't think I'm going to play. I'm going to really concentrate on track. And I loved playing for you, but I think it's time for me to really concentrate on another sport.
Then again, I said to myself in my freshman year, I would complete 4 years of football and 4 years of track. So I made the choice to rejoin the football team again, entering my senior year.
After about 2 weeks into the season this year, he came back to me and he said, Coach, I don't want to finish like this. I really miss football, and I'm afraid to come down and tell you because, you might take it the wrong way, but I really want to play. And I said, Woodley, you're always welcome on this team because you're one of the hardest workers on the team. You're one of the reasons why the team has been successful.
He basically opened his hands up and was like, here, you can come back.
And I was so happy he was able to finish the year, and he was so happy. He would come out to practice every day, work harder than everybody, got into a lot of games, really helped us out on special teams, and played a lot of defense for us. And I was so happy his career ended on an up note, and he decided to play his senior year.
It takes a village to raise a child, and the church, you could say, raised me. Growing up, I was always in church activities, church youth ministries, and the youth leaders were always, giving me guidance, and they basically mold me into the boy that I am right now. And, it's very good because, if I ever had a problem, I could go to them. They'll never give me, bad advice. It's always good advice. Even if I didn't want to hear it later on, I knew that it would be good for me to hear. They enforced all of, my Catholic faith into me. And they taught me how to become a good person, how I should live my life, and I should always trust in God. And if I ever have a problem, it's not, oh, don't turn away from God because you prayed to him and he didn't answer you. But I know that even if I pray to him now, when I actually don't need it, that's when he's gonna answer me. And I'm gonna actually like it better because it's out of nowhere instead of a time where I actually expected it. So I know that through God, everything works. Being religious, it's not just about praying, all holy. You actually live your life and you know how to approach certain situations, and you actually get to meet new people. I go to a lot of retreats, you learn life lessons, and you actually learn how you should live out your life and how, as a person of God, what you should do and what you should not do. We're all going to be sinners. We all have our bad days, but at the end of the day, we go to a church or to any priest walking around the street and ask him, Father, can you forgive me? And he'll forgive you. I know a lot of friends who do bad things, but I stay away from them. I say hello to them, but I stay away because I know what they're doing is not right, and I actually try to change them. And I've actually changed a few, and now they're good. They go to church, they do whatever they have to do. My family inspired me because everybody in my family is just hardworking. So I always see them working hard and struggling to provide the best for me because the things that I have now they didn't have, and they want to see me do good, and that motivates me to do better. It pushes me because I don't want to let them down, and I know that every single day they're going out there, working hard for me to put me through private school, me and my sister. And it just motivates me because they tell me, you know, do better, like do things, like be able to do things that we weren't able to do. In the future, to tell you the truth, I'm actually really not focused on playing sports in college. If I get a scholarship, yes. If I don't get any scholarships athletically, I want to get academic scholarships and, you know, just go to college, finish school and do what I have to do and make my parents proud and, like, you know, show them. Because my mom said the best gift you could give to me is a diploma. That's the best gift. So I'm trying to give her my high school diploma and a college diploma and, you know, have a good job.
With his strong faith in God, with his ability to keep working through a lot of adversity, he will be as big a success in life as anybody I've coached.